One of the things that has disappointed me, besides the mainstream media and politicians, is that people out there are saying that they're missing, making fake calls, babies on the highway, people kidnapped that have kids, that have parents involved, that have the community involved, and we find out that they're not missing. It makes you think, well, with all these missing person stories, how many of them do you actually believe? How many of them do you think are they really missing or they're playing games? And it's making stories that are real even more tragic when they are really missing and they're found dead. And this is one of those stories. There's this lady by the name of Imani Roberson, right here. Look at this picture. She was missing. Very nice looking young lady. Was she really missing? Well, in fact, she was. And it was a tragic story. So let me tell you about it. So the brother of the husband charged in missing Georgia mom's murder. Again, she was murdered. She's facing charges. Facing charges. And I try to get this paper. Sorry about that. Facing charges in connection with her death. So look at this picture and remember that not everybody is faking when you can't find them. Sometimes they are really missing. So Imani Roberson, the Georgia mother of four, whose body was found after going missing for more than 2 weeks, found out her husband and her brother-in-law had something to do with this. So now a second family member is facing charges related to the death of Imani Robinson. So her body was recovered not too long ago after she had been missing for more than 2 weeks. So Robinson's husband, Donnell Anderson, was arrested and charged in connection with her disappearance and death. Then, investigators received a tip about the location of a second suspect who they identified as Anderson's brother, 28-year-old Cardarius Glaze. So Cardarius Glaze is a second suspect facing charges in connection to the death of Imani Robinson. The sheriff's office said it has strong evidence that Glaze played a key role in the disposal of her body. He was charged with tampering with evidence, concealment of a dead body, and arson. So as Glaze's alleged crimes were committed in South Fulton, his warrants were taken out there, officials said. He was transported from the Rockdale County Jail to South Fulton. So the sad story again was this lady was last seen on July 16th in Atlanta while driving home with 2 of her 4 children from her mother's house. So her mother, and we've heard about this before with mothers, she was trying to contact her daughter multiple times the next day without a response. So Miss White eventually visited her daughter's home, a city about 24 miles east of Atlanta, only to find it empty. Authorities began their search on July 17th after her mother reported Roberson as missing, and investigators were immediately suspicious after visiting the house. So this is what they talk about the house. It was clear that foul play was evident in the disappearance of her. Blood was found in Roberson's home and multiple other places, according to the sheriff's department. And more than a week later, her car was found after it had been set on fire. So, of course, it was foul play. So Darnell Anderson was arrested and charged in connection with the disappearance and death of his wife. And Anderson has been charged with felony murder, malice murder or malice murder, and aggravated assault, along with possession of a firearm. He could assure them that another individual will be arrested in connection to the case. This is what the sheriff said. He just knew that. And both of Roberson's parents, they spoke during a news conference. Late last night, my worst fears were confirmed, and our family is devastated. And so what's to become of the children? They will now be in care of their grandparents. Wow. So again, look at this, keeping it honest, okay? Sometimes there are stories out here where people are really missing. And as we've done stories on missing children and missing adults, let's not take it lightly. Yeah, we laughed over the Carly incident after everything was found. We were scared, kidnapped, saw a baby on the highway, got out, went after the baby. 911 call, she disappears for 2 days, then comes back, don't know where she's at. Then she gets an attorney, finds out it was a hoax. And from concern to blessed that she's back home to being enraged. We need to take each story as its own merit, as I've said before. And we saw this story, you heard the story about this young lady missing. She turns up dead. Wow, such a sad story. So the moral of this story is when somebody is reported missing, let's not say, hey, I wonder if he's really missing. Let's take each case as if it's true and go from there. Because some stories may end like Carly, and some stories may end like this young lady right here, Imani Roberson, who has 4 kids. Something to think about. I'm Anthony Parker, Alexander, and we're just keeping it honest.